Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Arkham Horror and the End of Everything, where we are all in for Christmas and New Year. Yes, we've got all the expansion boards, we're playing with 8 investigators and virtually every card in the game, and we are trying to defeat Azathoth. And we're just about to start turn 13, but just before we start turn 13, a couple of corrections. First of all, because of Jackie casting Arcane Insight last turn, if you remember, we swapped a few of the Mythos cards around, and because of that, I forgot that the one that we did choose to come out this last turn, obviously it should have generated a rift token, and I forgot to do that. So thanks to RPG guy who noticed that and put me back on the straight and narrow. So we'll draw for that now, and we are going to, well, Jackie's going to, ooh, what's that? Ooh, Neil's Curiosity Shop. How nice. So we haven't been there yet, so that'll be nice. Right, so we can get rid of that now. One other thing, which I think a pirate mentioned, was I did put a Deep One Rising track token out because Jackie used her ability, which stopped a gate burst. Apparently that's incorrect. Jackie's ability is a bit different because it stops the actual Mythos card coming into play. The Deep One Rising track and stopping gates opening only occurs if the actual card is in play. So the card comes into play and a gate doesn't open because it's sealed. Yeah, the card is actually in play, in which case then you would get a Deep One Rising track token put onto the track. And only if somebody else had a ability whereby the card came in play and then they were able to knock back a gate opening, we would put a token on the track. But in this case, the card didn't even come into play because we immediately pulled the next one. So what I'm going to do is take that Deep One Rising track token off, and we are back down to 2. Okay, I think that is all the corrections. So let's move on to the upkeep phase and our first investigator. And here we are with Jacqueline Fine. The first thing we've got to do is we've got to refresh her Mythos lore, which also reminds us that she does have Arcane Insight. Remember, it's -4 to cast, it will cost a sanity, and if we can actually succeed at it, we can look at the top 3 Mythos cards again. Now we know what the top one is, it's that rumour. But let's find out, if we can find out what the other 2 are, then we can sort of push the rumour back a bit again. So we'll have another go. It's going to cost us a sanity, and we'll need a 5 or a 6 on one die. We only get a 3. I didn't think we'd be able to do it, but no worries, we can try again next turn. She's still got 4 sanity left, so she can just keep trying and trying, and we'll see how we go on. So we are going to get that rumour this turn, but it isn't going to cause a gate burst, and from what we had a look at it last turn, it's not too bad. I don't think it's going to kick in before the end of the game, so no big deal there. Okay, right, that is Jacqueline Fine. Next up is Wilson Richards. And here we are with Wilson. What's Wilson going to do? Well, I think what Wilson's going to do is pick up that clue at the police station. So it's only East Town and then into the police station. Only needs 2 movement. He's got plenty of movement. I don't think we're going to mess around with anything else. He's just going to pick up that clue, and he will have an encounter in the police station. Okay, so that is it for Wilson Richards. Next up is Jim Culver. And here we are with Jim. Not a great deal Jim's going to do because he is currently delayed. All he's going to do is stand up in the movement phase. So that's it for Jim. Next after Jim is Leo Anderson. And here we are with Leo. Leo is going to be coming out of Another Time this turn. He's going to go back to the Esoteric Order of Dagon. He's not going to close the gate, he's just going to try and do a runner next turn. He's going to get the hell out of Innsmouth. So let's prepare him for that. We'll move his speed up So we'll put him onto 4 speed with his 2 focus. Now he is going to come out at the Esoteric Order of Dagon, which means he will be finishing his movement there. But he does not have to make an evade check for martial law. Going out of another world to an area that's got a gate in it does not count. And what he can do is the turn after that, he can just go to Joe Sargent's bus service, pay $1 and get out of Innsmouth, so he shouldn't have to make another check. Okay, so that's it for Leo. That's what he's going to do this turn. Next up is Tony Morgan. And here we are with Tony. Now, the reason we're looking at Tony is just for explanation purposes, because he is going to miss a complete turn. Totally loses a turn. He will not be rolling for his bank loan. He won't be rolling for his blessing anyway, because it's the first turn he's got it. But because he's lost the turn, he doesn't roll for anything. It is a complete loss of turn. No upkeep phase, no movement phase, no Arkham encounter phase. All he comes back online for is the Mythos phase. So he misses all the other phases in this turn. So that's it for Tony. After Tony, it is George Barnaby. And here we are with George. First of all, George is going to get $2, so we'll dig that out. And we'll just put it on here. So I won't bother getting a 5 out or anything because he tends to pay a lot of money out. We've also got a roll for his retainer. And he gets a 4, so he keeps it. It looks like he's going to keep it all game where he's going. Okay, so that's George. Are we going to change any of his sliders? Yes, we are, because he's now in another world. And we want to make sure we maximise his incredible sneak ability. So we'll move his focus up by 2, and he now has a sneak of 5. With the Dark Cloak, is a sneak of 6. With the sneak skill, it's a sneak of 7. Hopefully, he will be able to avoid any monsters. So, oh, and we've got to refresh his fellow travellers as well, so that is refreshed. Okay, so that is it for George. Next up is Bob Jenkins. And here we are with Bob. And Bob's quite tooled up and he's got a few clues. So what we're going to do with Bob is he's going to do what Tony Morgan was originally going to do. And he's going to take out that Moon Beast. So what we'll do is, first of all, he's got to roll for his bank loan. So we'll do that. And a 4. Well done, lad. So he doesn't have to pay his bank loan. Now his speed's up at 5. That will be enough to get him to Northside Streets where the Moon Beast is. He's got $1 to pay for his fare at Bishopsbrook Bridge. So he should have no problems getting there. He's got the Yithian rifle. He's got a carbine rifle as well. As I say, he's got 3 clues. He's got excellent fight and will. Let's go for it. Let's try and kill that Moon Beast. It's just been a pain for about 6 or 7 turns. So Bob is going to take on what, unfortunately, Tony was unable to do because Tony has been injected with a sleeping draft. Okay, so that is it for Bob. Next up is Joe Diamond. And here we are with Joe, who is our last investigator for this turn. So let's roll a die for his bank loan. And he rolls a 1 again. He's always rolling 1s. So we will have to exhaust credit rating so he doesn't have to pay that out. Now he's currently in South Church. We want him to bless George. I'm wondering whether to do it now. Ideally, George will get into... Yes, we'll bless him this turn. I think we will be okay. George will move into the second part of another time this turn. Then he'll get blessed by Joe. So the turn he comes out, he shouldn't have to roll for his blessing, I don't think. So he will bless George this turn by turning in his remaining gate trophy, and then we should be ready for winning the game with any luck. So that's all Joe's going to do. He's going to stick around in South Church. That is it for the upkeep phase. Next up is the movement phase. And here we are at the movement phase with Jackie. She's just going to go 1, 2, 3, and she's going to go to Neil's Curiosity Shop. That is it for Jackie. Next up, it is Wilson Richards. Here's Wilson. He's just going to go 1, 2, and he's going to pick up that clue at the police station. That's it for Wilson. Now it is Jim Culver. Here's Jim, and all Jim's going to do is stand up. So that is it for Jim. After Jim, it is Leo Anderson. And here we are with Leo. He's going to go back from another time to the Esoteric Order of Dagon, where we will see him sometime later in the Arkham encounter phase. Next up, it is Tony Morgan. And here's Tony sleeping like a baby in Arkham Asylum. Isn't that nice? After Tony, it will be George Barnaby. Here's George. He's just going to cross into the second part of Another Time. That is it for George. After George, it is Bob Jenkins. And here we are with Bob. He's just going to go 1, 2, 3 to Bishopsbrook Bridge. Then he is going to spend his $1. And he is going to go to Arkham. So let's cross to the train station. And here we are at the train station. And it pulls in and Bob gets off. But Bob still has a movement point. So he is coming to Northside. And he's going to take on the Moon Beast. So it is -1 on the horror check. Possibility of losing 2 sanity. And he has -2 on the combat check. I think it's 3 toughness. It is 3 toughness. Okay. Right, what's his will? His will is 3, so he's going to be rolling 2 dice. Let's get the dice tower. There we go, 2 dice. Come on, Bob. Oh, he got a 6. The other one fell out. Don't knock it. Oh, he got 2 successes. Awesome. So he's passed that. Then it's the combat check. He's going to use his Yithian rifle. Now this is +6. He has +4 fight, so that's 10. -2, wasn't it? Yep, so that's going to be 8 dice. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 3 successes. Come on. Yes, 3 5s. That's enough. He has killed the Moon Beast. Brilliant. So we put that on there. We get a stand back, which is great. Get rid of that really annoying monster. This has been exhausted. That is it, isn't it? So great work, Bob. Who needs Tony Morgan? Only joking, Tony. Sweet dreams, mate. Okay, so that's it for Bob. After Bob, it is Joe Diamond. And here we are with Joe. And Joe's just going to stay exactly where he is. That's it for the movement phase. Next up is the Arkham encounter phase. And here we are with Jackie. So Neil's Curiosity Shop. Not been here before. Let's see what we get. So let's have a look. Neil's Curiosity Shop. Among the collection, you see a small carving of a tree with branches that reach out threateningly. If you have a 1 of the 1,000 cult membership, gain 3 clue tokens. Unfortunately, we do not. If you do not have a 1 of the 1,000 cult membership, make a law -1 check. Well, a law's pretty good. So, where is it? There we go. And she's got 4 dice. She has 5 law. And she gets a 5. Woohoo! Let's have a look. If you pass, gain a clue token. Awesome. So let's dig one out. Won't be a second. And she's back up to 7 clues. Brilliant. Put that on her player tray. And that is it for Jackie. Next, it is Wilson Richards. Here we are with Wilson in the police station. In fact, he's not going to have an encounter, he's just going to do an odd job. I nearly forgot about his odd jobs ability. So he's going to do that for $1, get himself $1. That's it for Wilson. Next up, it is Jim Culver. Except it isn't Jim Culver, because Jim Culver's in another world. It's actually Leo Anderson, who's at the Esoteric Order of Dagon. So that's a church green deck. So here we go. Remember, he's not even attempting to shut the gate. He's leaving that for George. Let's do a cut. And let's have a read. From outside, you can hear the congregation engaged in a loud ritual, honouring Dagon. As horrible as it is, the sound exhilarates you and feeds on your weaknesses. Gain 1 stamina. Then you have if you have either an injury or a madness card, add an uprising token to the Deep One track and you are blessed. Well, we haven't, but we do get a stamina. So, oh, you can do with that as well. He's only got 2. I forgot he was only on 2 stamina. But he's up to 3 now, so that's great. Awesome, that's not a bad card. So let's put these back in there. That is it for Leo Anderson. After Leo Anderson, it is, well, normally it'd be Tony Morgan, but we'll just give Tony a miss. He's missing a turn. So after Tony, it would be George, but George is in another world, so it is straight to Bob Jenkins. And here's Bob. We're not going to see a lot from Bob either, because he's in the Northside streets, so he will not have an encounter. After Bob, it is Joe Diamond. Here we are with Joe, and what Joe is going to do is he is going to spend his final gate trophy, and he is going to bless good old George. So let me just put the gate trophy on the bottom of the pile, and then we will sort out George's blessing. Here it is. So George is now blessed. Excellent stuff. That is the end of the Arkham encounter phase. Next up is the Otherworld encounter phase. And here we are, the Otherworld encounter phase. First up, it is Jim. So let's see if we can get that in there. So he is at the Plateau of Leng, which is a blue or a red, or is it? Or is that green? Green. A green or a red. He could take a green anyway. He does have a special ability whereby he can use green cards in another world. So let's have a look. That's a yellow. That's no good to us. This is a green. Hang on, let's put that yellow correctly into the discard. Dreamland City, the Great Race, so it's other. Carefully, you avoid the gaze of a gigantic eye watching an altar. You may try to pass a sneak -1 check. Well, we're not going to try. So, it was a you may, so we're not going to bother. So, good stuff, Jim. Discretion is the better part of valour. Right, that is it for Jim. After Jim, it is George. And here we are with George. So let's reach over and get this back again. Another time, that is red or green. Red. Abyss, Dreamland, so it's other. You sleep fitfully and awaken to the sound of your own voice chanting something. Make a luck -2 check. Ooh! It's his luck. His luck's 3. So, has he got any? He's got nothing to help him apart from the fact he is blessed. So, we'll need that. So, he's got 1 die. A 4, 5 or 6. Come on, George. A 1. Rubbish. I've rolled 3 blessed dice, I think. I've got 1s on all of them. Oh. If you pass, blah blah. If you fail, the chant attracts something unsavoury. A monster appears. Oh. Got to pick a monster. Now, he does have excellent sneak. So, hang on, let's move that out of the way. So whatever it is, we're going to have to sneak past it. We have, come on, something easy. Amigo. Oof. Well, they are easy, but I've set him up for running away. So he's got Amigo. So is he going to take it on? Oh, he has the ritual blade. +2 to combat checks. His fight's on 2 and his will's on 2. Shall we fight it? He does have 7 sneak though. He does have 7 sneak, which will be 5 dice. He's going to try and sneak past it, I think. He's got a load of clues. Surely he can sneak past it. With 5 dice. So yeah, he's got 5 blessed dice as well. So surely I can't roll 5 ones here. Bloody hell, I only rolled 1 success. So yes, he did manage to sneak by it. So that goes straight back into the bag. Excellent. And that is it for George. Next up, it is the laugh and chuckle phase. And here we are at the laugh and chuckle phase. May as well leave that over there. We've got to draw out that rumour. But one thing we do get rid of that I forgot was Neil's Curiosity Shop Rift Token. That goes back into the Rift Token bag. Give it a quick shake. Okay, let's get this rumour dealt with. Right, so mistrust rumour. When this card enters play, plays 3 clue tokens per player on it. So that is 24. Well, we're not going to do that. I'll put some dice out. Any player may discard common or unique items while in the Southside streets during the Arkham encounter phase. That'd be fun with a Dart Young there. To remove 1 clue token from this card per common or 2 per unique item discarded. Well, we're not going to do that. We're going to let this run through. Ongoing effect. Place 1 clue token per player on this card at the end of every Mythos phase. Not this turn though, it'll be next turn. Pass if there are no clue tokens. Well, we're not going to pass it. Fail if there are 6 clue tokens per player on this card, so 48. Return it to the box, and then investigators can no longer trade items, and all investigators have their focus reduced to 0 for the rest of the game. So what we'll do is we'll put this out. We'll do all the other stuff in a minute. I know it's slightly out of sequence, but so put that in there. Goes into the Southside street, so we'll stand it there. Just grab a couple of dice to use, won't be a moment. There we go, so 20. Where's the 4? There we go, we're at 24. Reds will stand for the 10s and 4 for the units. There we go. Okay, so we've set that out. We do get 2 Doom tokens. So, sort that out. We are now up to 11 on the Doom track. But we should be okay, I think. Especially when George comes out next turn, because next turn should be the final turn. Okay, so, monster movement. So we've got dashes moving on white. We have got a dash, and the Dreamlands Gate means that comes down. That comes down. Any more dashes? No, we killed the Moon Beast. Triangles. No triangles. Stars, pluses, and circles. We don't have any, I don't think. No. Squares, move. Oh, we've got a square. It's this bloody colour out of space. Instead of moving, roll a die on a 4 to 6. All investigators that are not in another world will lose a sanity. Let's take all those out of there. A roll of die. Right out there. Where's my shaker gone? There it is. We want low. And of course we roll a 5. Fantastic. So everybody loses a sanity. Let's sort that out. Joe goes down to 2. Jacqueline's down to 3. Wilson is down to 3. Jim is down to 2. Leo's down to 3. Bob's down to 2. George is unaffected, he's in another world. Oh, and so's Jim, actually. Oh, Jim's fine, he's in another world, he's in 3. But Tony Morgan is down to 2. Yes, he's back in because it is now the mythos phase, so he doesn't miss out on that, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a downer. Everybody's lost a sanity apart from Jim and George. But it doesn't move. Diamonds move. So, ooh, the Shoggoth is going to move, and it's a fast monster. It moves on black. That's 1, 2 into church green. Great. So poor old Leo can't get out. But hopefully we'll have won next turn. It doesn't matter. Anything else? There is another diamond, I think. Yep, the Elder thing. That moves on black. Goes into Rivertown. Hexagons move on black, so that's the former spawn. Go into the Merchant District. Anything else? Yes, Crescent movement. So the Wraith has a quick look around Miskatonic University streets. There's nothing there, so it goes to the sky. Dark Young doesn't move. And I think that is it. Yes, I think that is all the monster movement. We don't have to put a Rift token out because nothing matches that. Because it was a rumour, we don't have to do a Deep One Rising token. Anything else? No, it's not an Urban Mythos card, so we don't have to bother with the Act cards. That is it. Oh, we've got to move the Ancient Whispers on black. So that moves next to Bob. Right, there we go. Let's put this back over there. And yes, I think that is it. Yes, so no big deal about the rumour. And yes, another good turn. It's we're just treading water now till George comes out. George comes out next turn. He's blessed. He's got about 1 million clues. It should be in the bag, to be perfectly honest. So the only one who's got a slight problem is Leo. He's hemmed in by the Shoggoth. I think he might just stay at the Esoteric Order of Dagon. We'll bump his sneak up again. Oh, I tell you what I forgot for him. What do we always forget? Better late than never. He's got an Explode token. So there we go. So he can stay there. With that Explode token, it means he doesn't get dragged back in. So I think we'll just move up his sneak again, and he'll just hang on for George coming out. But he will, I think, have to make a roll next turn. Will good old Leo, in order to avoid getting arrested. I'll have to check that, I'm not sure. There is some talk about a gate overriding a location, so he might be actually alright. I'll check that one. Other than that, our backup, Jim. Jim's fine. He'll move into the second part of the Plateau of Leng next turn. He's got plenty of clues, so there's a good chance that he would be able to shut a gate as well. So I think next turn we should be absolutely fine. We should be able to close this game out. So, yeah, barring any unforeseen circumstances, that should be it. But we shall see, one never knows. Okay, so thank you so much for watching turn 13 of Arkham Horror and the end of everything. Thanks so much for all the views, for all the subscriptions, for all the likes and all the dislikes. And if you've spotted any errors, as ever, please let me know and I will do my best to fix them. And thank you all for all the help and support. Thanks to everybody who's been across to Board Game Links to look at the videos over there, and anybody who's been across to BGG to have a look at the video threads or to make a comment, like him, or otherwise give Geek Gold or whatever. Thank you so much. It is really appreciated. I hope you join me for turn 14, which hopefully will be our final turn, but we shall see. Until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.